After learning to describe people, places and things, in this 8th episode, we will learn to compare people, places and things.
The words which we use to compare people, places and things are called as adjectives. Adjectives are nothing but describing words. And there are 3 degrees of adjectives: positive, comparative and a superlative. The positive adjective describes a person, place or a thing as it is. For example, Ambani is a rich man. The comparative adjective compares 2 persons, places or things. For example, gold is costlier than silver. The superlative degree is when a single person, place or a thing is compared to more than one, and it shows the greatest degree of comparison. For example, Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world. Now, again, here are few examples of a positive degree, a comparative degree, and a superlative degree. When we just say that Jhansi is tall, we say it with a positive degree. When we say Jhansi is taller than Rosie, we compare Jhansi to Rosie. Jhansi is the tallest of all. Jhansi is compared to many other. So, we say it is a superlative degree and it is the highest form of comparison. In the list of degrees of comparison, there are few models. In the first model, we shall see how a positive degree changes to a comparative degree and a superlative degree by the addition of ER and ES at the end. We say bright, brighter, brightest, clever, cleverer, cleverest, fast, faster, fastest, kind, kinder, kindest, small, smaller, smallest, sweet, sweeter, sweetest. In the second model, we add a R or an ST to the positive degree. Here are few words where we use it. Fine, finer, finest, large, larger, largest, wise, wiser, wisest, simple, simpler, simplest, brave, braver, bravest. In the third model, the words in the positive degree end with a Y, and when they change into the comparative form, the Y is deleted and we use an IER instead of the Y. And when it is changed into a superlative form, we take away the Y and we use IEST at the end. For example, dry, drier, driest, easy, easier, easiest, lazy, lazier, laziest, costly, costlier, costliest, happy, happier, happiest. The fourth model, we find that the words of the positive degree doubles its consonant. That is, the letter with which it ends is used again. For example, big becomes bigger with the usage of 2G and an addition of ER. In the superlative form, big becomes biggest with the usage of 2G with the addition of EST. Dim becomes dimmer with the usage of double M and an addition of ER. It becomes dimmest in the superlative form with the usage of double M with the addition of EST. Fat becomes fatter with the usage of 2 T's and an addition of ER in the comparative form. It becomes fattest with the usage of 2 T's and an addition of EST. Hot becomes hotter with the usage of 2T and an addition of ER in the comparative form. It becomes hottest in the superlative form with the usage of two T and an addition of est. The same way, thin becomes thinner in the comparative form with the usage of two N's and an addition of er, comes thinnest in the superlative form with the usage of two N's and an addition of est at the end. Fifth model is totally a different one. Here we use more or most. We use two different words to change the positive degree to comparative or the superlative. The positive degree active becomes more active, and in the superlative form it becomes most active. Careful in the positive form becomes more careful in the comparative form, and most careful in the superlative form. Famous becomes more famous and most famous. Faithful becomes more faithful and most faithful. Proper becomes more proper and most proper. And finally, cunning becomes more cunning and most cunning. There are irregular comparisons also, where the word totally changes in the comparative and the superlative form. Just have a look at this list of words. Bad, which is in the positive form, becomes worse in the comparative form and worst in the superlative form. Good, which is in the positive form, becomes better in the comparative form and best in the superlative form. Late, which is in the positive form, becomes later in the comparative form and latest in the superlative form. Little, which is in the positive form, becomes less in the comparative form and least in the superlative form. Much, which is in the positive form, becomes more in the comparative form and most in the superlative form. Likewise, many becomes more in the comparative form and most in the superlative form. Now here's a task for you. Complete these sentences with the appropriate degree. Try using the picture clues. Now just check if you have completed it in this way. Now just observe what I have got to say about two places. I'm going to speak about Trichy and Chennai. I live in Chennai. It is a big city. It has the longest beach in India. Chennai is more modern than Trichy, and it is also bigger than Trichy. But Trichy is less populated than Chennai. Now try describing two places or two things by comparing them.
So viewers, by now you should know how to compare people, places and things using the correct degree of adjective. Thank you.